Can we speculate? Can I just maybe slander an A-list movie
Well, I mean,
star?
he watches the show, but I'm sure he'd be okay with it.
No, not on this show.
And I also went after Tony Ferguson last time, which was a much more dangerous, physically speaking, endeavor.
He'll come after you.
Leo, it was great meeting you in the $50 hangout.
You tweet something right now at Tony Ferguson, like, hey, you look pretty weak in there. Old man. He's coming for you. He's coming for you.
I don't think he has the ability to read a tweet after what happened to him in the 5th round against Gaethje.
With his good eye.
I worry for that guy.
Every round.
Every round. Yeah.
He looked really tough. He could take a punch. All right, so people don't know. There was a
Tell
UFC
me about Leo.
fight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's talk about Leo too, but we'll circle back.
Yeah.
And
it's funny enough. Oh, I'm sorry. We're doing UFC then, Leo?
I'm flexible, but that's what I thought.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. So Gaethje fought Tony Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Ferguson, we've all been very excited about on the show. He's a legitimate crazy person scratching at his walls to get at the voices, thinking people are after his children. Look, it's a sad mental health issue in real life, but it's great on your television. It's to think that there's a crazy person in the UFC who fights for a living, and he's good at it, really good at it. Going for his title shot, he went up against Gaethje, and I just thought Gaethje's boxing would be too much. Tony Ferguson gets hit all the time, and no one focuses on the fact that he's like flash knocked out so many fights. And I'm like, against a guy who hits, and like Gaethje is going to be trouble. And it was, he took 10 years off his life with this fight. His corner never threw in the towel. I think maybe they should have. His corner seemed incompetent. I don't know what the head coach was saying, but it was just craziness and weirdness. And Tony Ferguson got beat up bad.
I am afraid, based on that reaction I saw to Gaethje's final left hook, whatever tunnels the neurons were supposed to fire through in his brain, those tunnels were collapsing when he did that head shake. When he just involuntarily spasmed 3 seconds after the punch. That was scary.
Maybe he was shaking blood out of his eyes. The man's insane.
Bambi
Maybe
legs.
he was saying, no, that didn't hurt. That didn't hurt.
Always the optimist.
Maybe he was like powering up his chi. I don't know what he was doing.
He was about to use the chi offense.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo was like, charge it! Charge it! He's just, shaking his head.
What a great night of fights, though. Very little
night of fights.
Very little, because it was unprecedented, obviously, well, other than like an Ultimate Fighter, but very little was lost from the lack of a crowd. I enjoyed that card as much as I've enjoyed any card in the last 2 years, probably.
I think
John Jones calling out Ngannou. Did you see that?
I didn't. Wow.
Wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
A dangerous move.
So I'm out of date. So what happened was Jones
was
excited about someone. It was OSP, right? So OSP, St. Preux, something close to that.
Yeah.
That guy was fighting at heavyweight. He moved from 205 to heavyweight, and he's at 240 pounds, which one might presume Jones is all the time, when he's not cutting weight. And he's like, man, watching him, seeing myself in there, it's just like a dream I might make reality. And Ngannou said something like, I'll give you reality. Did he reply to that?
Oh, no, they had a very respectful back and forth where Jones said something like, he asked his audience, on Twitter, like, how do you think that Ngannou would match up against my speed and my skill set and everything? And then Ngannou, he's like, I would have to get paid though. And Ngannou comes back and he's like, I agree with you. Like, you've cleared out 205. You've got nothing to prove there. But if you step up to me, they're going to have to pay us. And then they had like a back and forth like that, not with like no shit talking, no like try not to crash your car on the way to the ring or anything like that. It was just very respectful, and both of them basically agreeing to fight each other if the money's there.
So John Jones, according to popular opinion, has lost 2 of his last 3 fights, right? He beat Anthony Smith. Is that his guy? Smith,
yeah.
The white guy?
Lionheart.
Mm-hmm. And he lost to the guy who had 2 bad knees.
Santos.
Santos. And he lost to another guy, too. I'm trying to remember his name.
Matt Hamill.
No. Matt Hamill. No, but like in the media scores and in the popular opinion scores, 2 of his last 3 fights.
Oh, no. I don't know about the last 2. Yeah, the 2 you mentioned were the 2 that he lost in the
Anthony
wait, no,
Smith,
not,
I thought
Well,
he
he's
beat
not,
handily.
he's only lost once, and it was the elbow disqualification. But what Woody is
Actually
saying is
lost,
like,
yeah.
as a fan,
Yeah.
he felt like that Jones was the loser of the fight, despite what the judges had to say. I think he lost his last fight, according
Dominic
to me, not
Reyes.
according to the judges. Reyes, yes,
Yeah,
it wasn't Santos, it
Reyes
was Reyes.
and Thiago Santos. So his
Let me
last
pull
two
it up
fights,
right now.
his two most recent
feel-
fights, the popular opinion is that he got the benefit of the doubt because he's the champ. Kyle's saying it's me, but I think if I look at the media scores and the popular opinion scores, people seem to think that Jones, you split decision on Santos, and Reyes, he had a unanimous decision, but people felt like Reyes actually won that.
No, I agree. I wasn't saying that it's just you. Like
Okay.
I agree. There is definitely I think they did a big poll on like RMMA, and it came back with like 40% thinking more people thought Jones won than lost.
Okay.
But a large percentage of people thought he lost, like larger than you would want if you're Jones.
Right.
I thought he lost his last one. I thought he eked out enough against
Santos.
Santos to get the win, because Santos was literally crippled at the end. Like if we're fighting out in the desert, like Jones is going to eke that. Keep going until one of them's dead, and it's going to be Jones alive.
Okay. So it's weird. Simultaneously, he has cleared out the 205 division. I don't know who's even interesting left for him to fight. Is he going to fight who just beat Anthony Smith, the big Brazilian
Glover.
dude? Glover.
Teixeira.
Is he going to fight Teixeira
Oh.
Glover again? Is that his name? Do I
I
have it
know.
right?
Glover Teixeira, I thought.
The degree to which I give a fuck about that fight versus Ngannou is minuscule.
Perfect.
Ngannou murdered a man Saturday night.
Yes.
Like I was in the kitchen and I heard the fight. They were doing like "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And I ran from the kitchen into the living room because I knew. I was like, Ngannou's fighting. Like I slid into the fucking living room. The fight was 30 seconds long,
Yeah.
if that.
Mhm.
Ngannou stormed him and hit him with like a Mike Tyson level punch. I want to talk about Mike Tyson as soon as we're done talking about what we're talking about
Okay.
right now, though. But he hit him so fucking hard, the guy was knocked out for an extended period of time.
And
It
his
wasn't one of those flash knockouts where, whoa, he can't defend himself. And then he hops up after 5 seconds. He was unconscious for a very long period of time.
And his feet weren't even set when he threw that left hand, Ngannou. It was like the fourth punch in
He
the
was-
flurry.
Yeah, he was moving forward, throwing those shots. Yeah.
Crazy. I'd love to see him fight John Jones, but only because I don't like John Jones. A lot of people, when they don't like a fighter, they're like, don't give him that fight. Not me. I'm like, feed him to the Lions. How about he fights
Floyd
an actual
Mayweather made
lion?
millions with that play style.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if I see a fighter who's a real dick, maybe eye pokes too much, put him in there with John Jones. Let John Jones rape him.
You